Well, hey everyone, welcome back. This is the second video on the 1972 Ford Thunderbird, the first model year for the big bird, the big Thunderbird. And it is a big car. It was the biggest Thunderbird up to that point ever built, and since. The wheelbase was stretched to 120.4 inches. The overall length grew to 214 inches. So big car, but very comfortable. Anyway, we're going to do a cold start, and we're going to take it for a drive. So that's what we're going to do. That's why the hood's open, just to show you. See here, touching the exhaust manifold. Engine's cold. Not burning my hands. So we're good there. And we're going to start it up. You'll see how it runs, and we'll take it for a drive. All right. Key in the ignition. Put the gas pedal to the floor once, let it up slowly so the choke opens. And you can see, fired right up. Very nice. So, runs beautifully, it really does. As I mentioned earlier, I put the Edelbrock carburetor onto it. That really improves the drivability. Ford's 4300 four-barrel carburetor was not a great carburetor. And you can make it a little better, but if you really want good drivability, the best bet is to change it out for an Edelbrock or a Holly. Anyway, so that was that was one change I made to make it more drivable. Of course, it's got power windows. You can see all the power windows work. Notice the rear windows don't open very far. That's as far as they go. Oh wait, no, there we go. That's as far as they go. And that's because they extend back into the sail panel. They don't drop down. So on the Lincolns, there was even less movement on the for those power windows, because remember the Mark IVs had an opera window, and that opera window prevented the side window from opening very much. I think on the Lincoln they only open about an inch. It's not much at all. So anyway, we're going to hear the car runs smoothly, runs beautifully. We'll take it out for a drive. Fuel gauge works. The clock does not work. I don't think I've ever had a clock that worked on any of my old cars. Fuel gauge works nicely. The odometer works, speedometer works, everything works in it. It's got the optional AM/FM radio, that works. I have a Bluetooth plug-in adapter that I use so that you can tune it into a particular radio station and listen to your phone. I'll include that with the car. It's in the glove compartment. As I mentioned, this car has the 429 four-barrel engine, which was the standard engine in the Thunderbird. Has the C6 automatic transmission, which all Thunderbirds had in 1972. And just drives like a dream. Rides smoothly. There really is no comparison to the ride in these old Fords, these old Mercurys and Lincolns and that sort of thing. I really wish they made cars that drove like this today. I think that's something that's long gone. I don't think it's something you'll ever see again, unfortunately. I live in a small town, but the car's had all its fluids changed, including transmission, which was flushed and filter changed, oil, radiator coolant, brake system was flushed out. Brakes were done about, I want to say 4 years ago. I've only put about 200 or 300 miles on this car since I've owned it. Not very many. And yet, it's just, I love driving this car. It's just a whole different experience than driving most modern vehicles. When you drive these big old Fords with their coil spring suspensions and that sort of thing. So car does not leak any fluids. I had it sitting over the winter, and I think I had maybe a dime-sized drop of oil from the oil pan plug, but I pulled the plug out and put a new gasket on it, and it seems to be good now. So no serious leaks or anything underneath when you park the car. It's a good, reliable car. And that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure the car was sorted so that it could be, reliably driven. It is certainly a car you could take to a show. I've taken it to a few shows. I've showed it off, and it looks great. But it also drives great, drives reliably. I wouldn't hesitate to drive this across the country, especially since I've gone through it and sorted it and gotten it to be reliable. So I've always been a Thunderbird guy. I've had a lot of Thunderbirds over the years. Oldest one was a 57. My favorite was always the 61 to 63s, the Bullet Birds, and those were always my favorites. And I have one of those. I have a Sport Roadster convertible. But I've also liked the Big Birds. The 72 was always one of my favorites. And when I found this one, I thought, wow, this is really great. I got to have one of these. And I did. I bought it, and I've enjoyed it ever since. So it's been a great car. Was never really super crazy about the 55 to 57. I know that's the big, that's the one that everybody likes. That's the car that, everybody considers the true Thunderbird. And don't get me wrong, they're gorgeous looking cars. The problem is I'm a big guy. I'm about 6'2", and I had a 57, and I just never fit comfortably in that car. I mean, my knees were always hitting the steering wheel. It's actually a very small car. It's a good looking car, but I tend to prefer a bigger, plushier, cushier ride. So, and I think that's why I really like these big old Fords and Lincolns and Mercurys from the early 70s. And there aren't a lot of these around, as I said. I mean, unfortunately, they weren't really considered collectible. People just kind of drove them into the ground and then threw them away when they were done. And so despite, a pretty large number of them being built, there aren't a lot of them around today anymore. So, and that's a shame. It really is. So while it's not the most famous of the Thunderbird models, to me it is one of my favorites, and that's just me. Part of it is I remember these cars when I was young. They used to be all over the place. I remember when they were new. My dad had a brand new Ford LTD, a 72 Ford LTD Brougham that I went to the dealer and picked up with him. So, but it rides just like these big old Fords and Lincolns and Mercurys, just like you would expect them to. I'm going to turn around here. In this fellow's farm. And head back. All the lights work, of course. power seats work. I listed what doesn't work. Really, the only things that don't work are the clock, and the cruise control is kind of intermittent. It works, and then it sort of cuts out and slows down. And I don't know if that's the cruise transducer that needs to be replaced or what. I haven't really looked into it. But everything else works on the car, works great. The car drives beautifully, runs beautifully, stops nicely. Just a really nice example of this car. And one that, you know, if you take it to a show, you're probably not going to see another one. There just aren't many around anymore. So there are a lot more 73s and 74s. They sold a lot more of those years. They sold about 58,000 or so in 72. That number shot up to about 87,000 in 73. So you actually see a lot more of those around. You can see we're accelerating here. And the car accelerates nicely, stops nicely, drives and steers nicely. Try and back this up so you can see. There we go. Here I am letting go of the steering wheel. Right? You can see the car's tracking straight, so it's not steering all over the road. Uh-oh, I better slow down. The local sheriff here likes to watch for speeders. The cars whisper quiet. Even the Thunderbirds, I mean, the Lincolns, yes, you expected them to have a lot of sound deadening material and be quiet, but even the Thunderbirds were sound deadened and insulated, and just a real quiet, comfortable cabin space to be in while you're driving. Very little road noise getting through, as you can hear. You'll hear it's a little bit quieter because I just put the window up. The window was down before. But wonderful, comfortable car to drive. I mean, I could drive this thing for 12 hours straight and not get tired. And as I said, I believe that mileage is original. I also believe I'm the third owner. Now, I can't verify that. The car was sold new in Lincoln, Nebraska, McGinnis Ford. From what I've been able to find out, it seems to have been in the same family for a very long time, and then was eventually sold out of the estate of that owner through an auction to another owner. That owner then subsequently sold the car through a classic car dealership in Denver, and that's where I bought it. And that was 3 years ago, something like that, maybe 4. I think it was like 3. So, and if you go online, I think you'll find this car in previous. I think I've Googled it, and I think the ad that it was online for the classic car dealer is still up. I spent, I want to say probably $3,000 on the car, just getting it sorted and getting it reliably usable and drivable, and that. The tires are good. They were changed about 2 years before I got the car, so they're really nice, the white wall tires. Everything on it is great. The carburetor, I think, was about $500. Restoring the dash trim, rechroming it, refinishing it, I had to send that out east. That was over $400. So I've got a bunch of receipts on the car as well, showing the stuff that I had done, the exhaust system, all of that. And now it's just a great car to drive, and it actually seems to get a lot of attention. People just they don't know what it is. They don't know if it's a Lincoln or what. I get people saying, "What kind of car is that?" That's a Ford, right? Is that a Lincoln? So I remember these cars. I know exactly what they look like. But it does get its share of attention. So great car. and I don't think you'll be disappointed with it if you do decide to buy it. Whatever you're looking for, I've been a classic car guy my whole life. I do prefer Thunderbirds and Fords, but I've had just a little of everything over the years. And whatever you're looking for, hopefully you find it. If you're looking for an old Ford Thunderbird, well, this one I'm sure has got to be one of the better ones that's still around, and they certainly aren't easy to find. So something to consider. Pulling back in the driveway here now. There we go. 1972 Ford Thunderbird. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your search.